What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna take a look at the all-new 2026 Toyota BZ. Now the name BZ4X is no longer, it is just a BZ. So this is Toyota's all-electric compact crossover in the refreshed design for 2026. This one is a limited all-wheel drive, finished in the really nice blue along with the black for the fender arches. You can actually get it in multiple different configurations, and you can even get a new BZ Woodland, which will be a little bit longer vehicle with more of a wagon style versus a sportback and more off-road. So this one, more the luxury trim level. Let's get right into it, see what Toyota has for the all-new 2026 BZ. Taking a look at the performance for the all-new 2026 Toyota BZ, this all-wheel drive Limited is going to feature the dual motor all-wheel drive system with 375 horsepower. Range is going to be up to 260, and you can do a 30-minute charge, getting 10 to 80%. Take a look at the updated styling. I like Toyota's new design with that cool hammerhead shape for this upper grille. You can see the Toyota badge finish in chrome, and those daytime running lights look really nice. The actual headlight is just a small section down below that. And then you get a daytime running light in the grille with some gloss black. There's a forward-facing camera along with parking sensors, a little bit of plastic black in the lower portion of the bumper, and pretty sharp lines all throughout it. I think they did a pretty cool job just giving this an up-to-date style with a really sharp look overall. And of course you can see how those black fender arches look. Definitely a modern, futuristic looking electric car. With the fenders, they do protrude outwards. A little hard to tell the contrast given the paint color, but we do have the two-tone option. You can get some body-colored ones as well. For the side profile, you got a nice set of two-tone wheels with the gloss black as well as the machine silver. Charge port is going to be right over here. Popping that open, you can see the port you have, and there are adapters as well to fit even like a Tesla charger. For the side, you're also going to get more of this really cool metallic black for the side mirrors. You have a turn signal light as well as a camera, body color door handles, and then just a little bit of plastic trim in the lower side. For the whole side profile, has a pretty nice look overall, especially with that sloping rear end. You can see gloss black throughout the windows, and then this even has the black up on the roof for the panoramic design. Black roof rails as well, and you can just see how steeply raked that rear end is. With the fender arches, once again, you can get a good look at the two-tone, sharp body line for the rear fender, and then the taillights, very sharp. There's a lot of Lexus design, I'd say, in the overall style. You can see how razor sharp those taillights are with an LED bar connecting everything, and then a really unique design coming off the roof with a shark fin antenna, as well as that dual design for the spoiler. Got a small integrated spoiler into the back as well. Your BZ badge, the BEV logo, along with Limited, and then plastic black for the diffuser with all your parking sensors. Has a pretty cool look back here, and overall comes together nicely to give it an updated look. Taking a look at the key fob, you're just going to get lock, unlock, the tailgate release, just a simple key fob overall. Going ahead and locking the car, you can just grab the door handle. It's going to automatically unlock, and we can check out the interior. The Limited is going to have a nice black Softex interior. There's multiple trim levels and multiple interior colors as well. So they've really made the BZ a pretty fun vehicle to spec. Up in front, you're going to get this soft touch material, and once again, kind of like you'd see in a Lexus. So I feel like they're adding a lot of more premium materials for this vehicle. You have this nice soft touch material as well for the whole door insert, memory seating even, and then all these standard controls. Got your grab handle, storage down below, and then all power controls up front. You have your lumbar support as well, and then I like these smooth Softex along with the perforations throughout the center. Nice design throughout the seats with a little bit of contrast piping, smooth design for those headrests, massive panoramic roof sunshade, and then a 3-spoke design for the steering wheel wrapped in the black leather. And then now inside the 2026 Toyota BZ, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire up the electronics. You're going to get the comfort access for the seat, so it automatically slid forward, and then the two screens are going to roar to life. For the steering wheel, we have our Toyota badge right in the center. Controls on the left side to configure the upper screen. We also have some Bluetooth and audio. And then on the right side, we have a lot of cruise control settings, lane keeping, forward pacing, things like that. There are paddle shifters for the regenerative braking. Stalk on the right side is for the windshield wipers. Stalk on the left side is going to be for those turn signals and headlights. Taking a look at the screen, you can see your gear indicator along with the miles per hour and cruise control. If I hit the back arrow, you're going to see a few more items that will pop up, and then I can scroll left and right. Then you can scroll up and down and see a lot of the different information that the Toyota screens are used to having. We have audio information, more drive information. You can also see any messages if needed, and then just toggling it to get back to the main screen. And then to the left of the steering wheel, we're going to get the interior dimming, the odometer, automatic high beams. We also have the wiper, and then you can see the power liftgate. Got one of your air vents, this really nice soft touch material up on the dash. It's a very flat dashboard and certainly a pretty unique style where the steering wheel is closer to your knees and then the gauge cluster is above that. You can see how that texture goes towards the front and then it leads into the door panel. So it's a pretty unique design. The updated screen, I really like this design, similar to what we're seeing on Lexus vehicles. So that is a really cool update. With this, the upper section is going to be like you're used to on all the Toyotas, all the standard navigation and audio, phone integration. We have driver's assistance you can go into, see all those safety settings. All-wheel drive we're able to take a look at and get a really good look at how everything is working. Tire pressure you can monitor, and then you can also go into messages and different settings within the vehicle. Now underneath that, we are going to get these climate controls that are going to stay here. We have heated and ventilated seats. We have a heated steering wheel. We can configure your zones. We have the climate icon. We can tap that. It'll pop up with a few different things. You can close that. Going into here, it's going to also give you a few more options you can play with. We have the heated and ventilated seating over on the passenger side. And then as you can tell with the dual zone temperature, I really love the colors and this display overall. It's a nice touch with these bezels. We have fan speed right in the center. So while this is all integrated into the screen, it does make it pretty easy. Got volume right down here. You also have the heated glass, and then you can see the front defroster. Your two air vents are down below. We have the parking button as well, and then there's two wireless phone charging pads. Hazards are right in the center, and then we have this whole center control stack. Got your electronic park and brake, a shortcut into the camera system. You're gonna get a really cool 3D view to see underneath the vehicle. So pretty cool to play with all this. You got a cool bubble design as well. And then if I push this down and left, we're into reverse. You can see the backup camera along with a top-down view, and then you can play with it a little bit as well. Got some settings you can play with. It has a rear cross traffic alert, and then we'll press P and we're into park. For drive, again, you push it down and you go to the right, that's in drive, and then back into park. And then on the right side, you're gonna get a couple different drive modes. We have the X mode for the all-wheel drive. It's gonna pop up on the gauge cluster, which is a really cool touch to see. We have the snow, we have deep snow and mud, and then you can go back to normal. So nice to see. This is a pretty capable electric car. We also can adjust this as well. And then we have our eco mode you can toggle into, and traction control. We also have cup holders behind that, and there's hidden storage space all underneath with extra plugs. For the center, you're gonna get some really nice soft touch padding, and then a side button where you can toggle this and open it from both sides. So that's a really nice design touch as well. One last look at the interior. The Softex seating, it looks really nice in black. Up above, once again, we have that massive panoramic sunroof. All the dome lights are up above, and we have the nice mirror with an integrated camera, as well as garage door buttons underneath. Taking a look at the rear seat space, just grabbing the door handle and opening it up. The door panel is finished off just like we saw up front. You're gonna get all this nice soft touch material. Even the upper doors are finished in soft touch. You have storage as well. This can seat 3 people, and once again, you're gonna get the nice Softex material with the perforations throughout the center. The middle seat you can pull down. We have extra storage as well as cup holders and a nice armrest. And we have good amenities like USB ports, heated seats, as well as air vents. You're gonna get some storage back here as well, and you can grab these handles and easily fold down these seats nice and flat to give you extra cargo space into the rear. All right, so sitting into the back seat with the Toyota BZ. So I am 5'11" sitting here, and to be quite honest, this is actually a pretty roomy, smaller electric crossover. I have like 4 or 5 inches of headroom with the driver's seat at my height. Check out this knee room, that's like 8 inches. My feet are fitting pretty well as well. And then the seat base, I would say, is a little low for someone of my height, so it's not quite supporting my legs to the best that I would desire. However, the seat back is actually at a good recline, and overall, it's a pretty decent place. I would say just if you have longer legs or a little cramped. But car seats are gonna fit great. Young kids, anyone close to 5'5" or shorter, no big deal. So for a smaller car, definitely seems pretty roomy with all the amenities you're gonna want for a vehicle like this. And then moving on to the cargo space, there's gonna be a button right underneath the Toyota badge. You can also see the 2 different cameras back there, which is a cool touch. Power operations for the lift back. And then given this has more of that sport back design, you can see the overall dimensions. We have a lot of space in here. You're gonna get a 3-prong outlet over on that far right side, an LED light up above, a nice flat load floor with the JBL sub in back. And then underneath the floor, we can grab the floor up, and you're gonna get extra storage space in here. We got the charge cable, so a nice area for the hidden cargo. And then we have a privacy cover you can play with, and from here, very easily, we can get this down to maximize cargo space. Then depending on how tall you are, it's not too hard to grab these levers, and we can fold all the seats nice and flat. So a great way to really maximize cargo space, and certainly use this as a pretty practical crossover. You're gonna get a grab handle along with the lock button, as well as just the standard close button, and letting that close all the way down nice and quick. One last look, seats are all gonna fold down nice and flat, and you can see we have a lot of space in the new BZ. All right, so let's go ahead and set off, pop it into drive. We're just in the normal drive mode, and we can get moving in the all-new electric BZ. I like how they've changed the name. The BZ4X was a little confusing to me, and it seems like most consumers had the same thing to say. So with this is a lot quicker with the extra horsepower and everything, so it should be a pretty nice driving experience. I still think the one thing that's a little weird to get used to is the steering wheel situation, especially with the gauge cluster like that. I think at my height, you know, I have to have the steering wheel all the way down to see everything. I could maybe afford to go up a little bit. So it takes a little bit getting used to. I feel like the old BZ, the steering wheel is more like in my lap. This still has that feeling to it, so it might take you some getting used to, but I think kind of getting my bearings with it already, not too bad. So far, slow speed, just leaving Toyota's headquarters. We're here in Plano, Texas, checking this out. But so far, it does seem like a pretty smooth to drive car. And then let's rip on it a little bit, see what this electric car. Whoa. All right, well, dang, Toyota, you guys threw some power in the new BZ. That is pretty impressive. I've only driven one BZ4X, so the previous generation, nothing all too impressive. I'm a car guy, I like performance, I like speed, and I don't think that one quite did it. This one, however, seems like it packs a nice punch with this all-wheel drive system and with the battery system. So that is cool. We'll accelerate again up onto that road. But taking a look at visibility now at the stoplight, pretty good overall. That C-pillar back there maybe is a little chunky, but nothing out of the ordinary that other cars aren't like. Got a sweet TRD behind us. But of course, if we play with the mirror, that is a really good touch to have the digital screen. I'm always a fan of that. These little windows help as well. Mirrors all do a pretty good job, and it's really not too hard to see through the windows and everything like that. So a pretty good view around. These seats are also really comfortable. Can't complain with that. And then getting up and going once again. Yeah, so far a pretty smooth power delivery. Not bad. So for slow speed cruising now, just going the speed limit. Honestly, it's pretty insulated, pretty quiet. I'm not really hearing much wind noise or road noise or anything like that. Suspension is absorbing bumps well. We got a couple weird spots in this road here, but to be honest, this is pretty comfortable and very normal. So nice and insulated. I think the new generation Toyotas are getting a lot more Lexus in them. Even like I mentioned with the softer touch materials, it seems like they're kind of stepping up the game to give the Toyota a lot of the luxury that we love from the Lexus brand. But definitely drives really good. If we go into the eco mode, oh wow, throttle is like nothing. Giving it half throttle barely gives you any performance. So that's a nice way to kind of save your battery and all that. But yeah, definitely good ride quality overall. The X mode we're not gonna be messing with since we don't have any off-road to play with. But definitely a nice design from eco mode into the normal mode. And then if we slow down a little bit, giving it some power once again. Yeah, I mean, that thing squeals the tires a little bit. You can probably watch that diagram as well. Yeah, this thing's got some power. This would be just a really good city EV to drive around, do what you need to do. Let's check out the turning circle being all-wheel drive. Pretty sharp. Look at that traction control light coming on. I mean, this has power that you want in an electric car. I think one of my disappointments with the BZ4X was the fact that it was kind of slow. And for EVs, you expect some power out of them. And this 2026 BZ's got the power to feel like a normal electric car where you would expect a quick 0 to 60 time. All right, so turning around to my perspective, let's navigate with the 360 camera view. Overall, it's a pretty easy vehicle to place. I like how the top down actually gives you that view of what's under the car. So really easy to maneuver this in the slow speed area. I mean, it kind of feels like a Lexus, to be honest. They really made this feel nice. All right, now that we have an open runway, let's really get on it from 10 miles an hour. Up to the speed limit. Yeah, pretty peppy for, I don't know if we have official pricing, but for not the biggest, not the most expensive electric crossover, this has the power to get moving. I think for me, my favorite thing with electric cars is how snappy they are. They're fun to drive around town just because you can just go fast. You can go fast very easily, you know, getting into traffic, things like that. You need to make a lane change. I mean, you just rip on it and they move. So very nicely powered. If you get the front wheel drive, you're gonna be down on some power quite a lot. And of course you will save some money. So for me, being a sports car person, all-wheel drive is the way to go just because you have the traction. It does a really good job for inclement weather, even with the X modes for the all-weather performance, things like that. You know, you're gonna have the confidence with the all-wheel drive. But I think the biggest thing that speaks to me in this car is just, it's a really good riding car, really comfortable too. I'm starting to get more used to the steering wheel. However, when I have it set the way I like it, I kind of have to look above it to see my percentage, my mileage right now. I can see the speedometer fine, but there's definitely some of the screen that is blocked with the steering wheel in this configuration. So not my favorite design, a little interesting. However, the rest of the screen, all this looks really good. It's easy to use, and it's just a simple car. Now, if we play with the paddle shifters, which are the regen braking, if I pull the left one all the way, it's gonna slow the car a little bit more. If I click it all the way to the right, we're gonna coast a little bit easier. So you have 4 settings for that, which is a nice touch to help regenerate some of the electricity and just make the brakes a little bit more aggressive as well. All right, so ending thoughts after driving in the all-new 2026 Toyota BZ, the Limited with the all-wheel drive. To be honest, if you're looking for an electric car, it seems like a pretty good option. I like the power delivery. It's styled pretty cool. It looks pretty nice overall. Interior materials are nice, has good fit and finish. Steering wheel is a little interesting how it's kind of in your lap a little bit. Not as bad, I think, as the previous gen. But if you're a little bit taller, this might not be the vehicle for you. But Toyota does have, obviously, plenty other options. But other than that, pretty nice. And then the screen, I like the center infotainment screen. Basically straight out of Lexus. It's super easy. And there's enough physical buttons to feel familiar. So put it on your list if you're looking for a cool EV. It's got the power and definitely one way to go. So that is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and then comment down below, what do you guys think of the all-new 2026 Toyota BZ? Is this the electric car you're gonna buy? Are you gonna buy it over a Tesla or anything else that is super popular? Let me know. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video.